All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosys coach and your personal guide. So, if you've been a regular viewer or a listener, maybe even a watcher these last couple of months, you may or may not have caught the iHNLP podcast. And this is, of course, a first amongst many, though technically this is episode number 3. Now we've renamed it as the iHNLP Practitioner Journeys. And so, in celebration of this moment, I have with me a really important, a really amazing, and a really dedicated uh, traveler, journey partner, and so much more in somebody that you can see on your screen who is sharing this stage and this space with me today. Without further ado, Meenu, welcome. And thank you for volunteering. Thank you for, as has been the norm these last, now we're at about 100 days. Um, it's to me, I always, and I really truly feel blessed when I see people who match energy, intent, and you actually do that in spades. So, thank you for being here with me on this new adventure that we are kickstarting. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul. And it's always a pleasure to work with you, to learn from you, and obviously to explore different horizons with you. So thank
Nice.
you for being my mentor.
Thank you for saying that, because, like I said, we've now been sharing airtime, and we've been working together for, like I said, give or take about 100 days, probably a little bit longer, because we met, I think, somewhere around Feb,
Yeah.
and we've been exploring, and as the title of our podcast suggests, okay, seem to have lost connection. Give me a moment. Okay, I think we're back. We might have lost momentarily. Houston almost had a problem. We are, I think, back. Connection is back. So, like I said, the core of what we're doing here is everything to do with the iHNLP practitioner program, and of course, this is the iHNLP practitioner journey. So, coming back to what I was asking is like, how has your experience been, and what are some of the things um, that are matching where you are on your journey, right? So it's a sort of roundabout way of saying, before you answer anything else, do tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and what brought you here.
Sure. So, as you have already read, that my name is Meenu Yadav, and I am a corporate worker for the past almost 14 years now. And though I am a lawyer by degree, but I never practiced law in the court of law, but started working in corporate. And since then, I am part of different organizations. And as part of my journey now, I am exploring the iHNLP practitioner program. I'm working with Rahul on this. And since the day I joined, or I would like to say that when I heard about it, I was quite fascinated to explore and learn about this practices, because I have tested it in my mentors program, Veena BK. So because I have felt the energies, the
Mm,
uh, changes which you can bring with the help of the hypnosis and NLP practices within your
Mm,
own self, brought me to the iHNLP practitioner program. And that decision was the best decision, I would say, of my life, because these 100 days, or say these 3 months,
mm,
has brought a lot of changes with the way I talk to myself,
mm.
with the way I talk to my son,
Wow.
and a lot of perceptions which were quote unquote fixed in the memory, but now they have completely changed, and they have changed for a better version of them.
Mm,
And those changes is not something which is like we uh, hard coded them. We did those changes within few minutes of
mm.
uh, spending time in the session, and now they are uh, like stick to the mind that, oh, okay, this is now your new reality of that story which you
Right,
were telling all the way till now.
right,
So
right.
I'm glad that I worked on myself with
Mm.
Rahul for those things. And these things completely changed my perspective and my life. So thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you for saying that because, like I said, for me, um, I really, I feel blessed that I get to do this kind of work. And even more blessed when I meet people in the avatar of students who are willing to trust the unknown, willing to trust their own, whether you call it sixth sense or their belief in something far deeper than. I mean, let me put it like this, right? When we decide to become students, especially as adults, it's one
Yes.
of the most frightening things that we can do, right? Because we're tapping into things that we don't know. We are willing to sort of like revisit the avatar of a student that we had, 20, 30, 40 years ago. And most of us, we don't always have, happy memories of being a student, right? Uh, we've all had our own, stories of being students, good and, not good. So
Yes.
it feels really, I feel really blessed that, we've gotten to connect, we've gotten to work together in the community. And, this is one such endeavor. Like I said, this idea came to me today in fact, it was late last night that I got this idea and I said, okay, let me float it with the group. And, literally, as it would be, you were the first to put your hand up for today. We will be back, of course, through this week and through this month. But immediately you're like, yeah, I'm here. Let's create this as an experience for other people. So maybe I'll focus on that aspect. And if you could give people an idea of how what you've learned over the last 100 days connects into your mission, your vision, your reason to be and do the things that you're doing today. And of course, maybe as a context, maybe if you could explain to people what is it that's driving you today. I know for people who, it's like they say, samajhar ko ishara kafi hai. If they're looking at your screen, they can't help but read and make connections. But in your words, if you could, sort of connect the dots for them.
For sure. So as I understood my mission or my purpose with a very happening moment, I would say now. Initially, it was not that, but yeah, a
Mm,
happening moment in my life. I discovered that now the need to switch tracks is there.
mm,
And I discovered that self love is important in my life, because I had forgotten it for quite a number of years. When I discovered it, I found more connection,
mm,
more soul to it, because that's
mm,
not just a word for me now. It's my journey, which I am living each day,
Nice.
exploring my own self, as
Mm,
well as now it has become a passion for me, so that people who are in the similar
mm,
journey or on the path where I stand, if
mm,
they are able to pick up something from my journey, from
mm,
my learnings of life, and develop that self love in their lives as early, they and if that helps them to save some of their time or years, I would be more than glad and happy
mm,
that universe gave me that opportunity to be that someone from where they can pick up something. So that's my mission now, to empower people to realize the importance of self
mm.
love in their own lives. And
Nice.
this, if I relate to my learnings of iHLP practitioner program, is something where I am practicing that
Mm,
how I can practice that self love through
mm,
the practices or the modalities which I'm learning as part of the
mm,
program. And yes, these different frames, we call it in our iHNLP
mm,
practitioner program language. And these modalities are helping me to
mm.
practice and deepen that self love,
Right.
compassion,
Mm,
empathy for my own self. Because unless and until I have it, I would not be able to give it to others.
mm,
So it's a saying that if your own cup is empty, you can't give
mm,
it to others. So
mm.
that's what I'm doing right now.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that when it fills up to a level and it spills over, it
Wow.
goes to other people
Right.
and it helps them. So
Mm,
that's my mission and purpose.
wow.
And this practitioner program is giving me lot of insights
Mm,
that how you can do it,
mm.
how you can bring that shift of mindset, because that shift is something which people think that very difficult to do that,
Mm,
because the roots of that mindset has been there since the childhood. So to
right.
bring the change in that mindset
Mm,
with, and that too at an adult stage where it's like
mm,
created.
right.
So to change that with the
Mm,
help of these frames and modalities of the practitioner program, iHLP practitioner program, is something which I am learning, and I'm ready to share my
wow.
learnings with my people, whoever comes
Beautiful.
to ask for help. I'm glad
Mm,
to share it, because this is something we cannot keep it with ourselves. It has to
mm.
spread. I am
True.
learning from you, and I'm sure somebody would be learning from
Mm,
through me. So
wow. Yeah.
that's something which is keeping me the good student in the class. That's how I attend every session. That's my core intention of
Mm,
learning, practicing, and evolving each day.
nice. Nice. Awesome. Just before you kind of sensed what I was about to say, my question would have been, so, what are some of the things that you have learned? And I love the way you, framed it, because this is something that you've learned over like literally now, the last 100 days. So, for someone who's listening, whether they're listening live or maybe they're listening later, later in the day or at some point over the next uh, chunk of time, shall we say? Um, what what would you want them to know, and maybe more in like specific terms? So maybe it was in the context of um, let's say in the context of the work, maybe in the context of relationship, something where you're able to correlate that, yeah, I learned this in class, and therefore I was able to see a shift. Because usually especially when we've all been there, right? When we're looking to learn, it helps to hear like specific instances that this was what was happening, and then I did this process, and then this happened. So it kind of gives people an idea of like, yes, even you can have that shift in your life. So what would you like to share in that context?
There are two things which are coming on top of my mind.
Mm,
One thing is in relation to an incident, as I was mentioning earlier, that perspective has completely changed.
mm,
So, for a particular incident in my life, my perspective was that I was a people pleaser,
mm,
and within just say, I think it was just a 10 minutes of exercise,
mm,
which brought the shift for me from a people
mm.
pleaser to a person who was loving the family.
Oh.
So initially, I used to think that I was a people pleaser for
Mm,
those 10, 11 years of my life. But when I did the exercise, did the coaching with Rahul,
mm,
and I visualized that it was not the people pleaser. It
mm,
was the Meenu who was loving her own family
mm.
and doing something which was at that time was the right thing to do.
Right.
So that's one
Mm,
incident. The another thing, and which is very, very close to my heart, is the shift which I've got in the way I talk to my son.
mm,
Uh, it was like a usual, not I don't terminology should not be usual, but I was like a
mm,
typical Indian parent.
mm.
Uh, but now our communications are more open.
Wow.
I am going down. I didn't know earlier that how to get
Mm,
down to a child level to have a conversation with him,
mm.
how to find that hook through which
Wow.
I can have a communication with him. All these things I found while having a communication with the
Mm,
community as well as Rahul. Everyone is proactively giving you hints and those
mm.
tips to test them out, and no
Right.
one says you to believe them. They always say to test it out. So I tested those things, and I got the results that I started
Right.
having a different conversation with my son Pratik.
Mm,
I got down to a level because he is a pure gaming person. So
mm,
I went down to his level, understood how he plays, what he likes, started talking to him in his
mm.
language.
Wow.
So that's how our connection got more stronger.
Mm,
We are now able to have more meaningful conversation, which was initially just a mother talking, telling her son that you have to do because I am your mother.
mm.
This has now changed to two adults who are communicating
Right.
uh, with an open mindset, and both of them are ready to listen to each other and
Mm.
to each other's perspective.
Wow. Wow. That is, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm literally just, being present here to what you shared, because this is when, it's a reminder that any shift that you make will have like these really, really deep ripple effects, right? And especially, when you talk about relationships, uh, and more specifically, like, mother and son, right? Another one is father and daughter. It's like these are those core relationships, which are like, it's like you're investing in not only his future but your future as well,
Yes.
right? Like you're teaching him values, as you said. And that was so beautiful the way you said it. It's like you're willing to come down to his level, which most, typically parents forget that they were kids, right? As we get taller, we tend to forget that to be really able to relate, it's that allowing ourselves to become, to connect to that child that's in us, and therefore be able to have an actual conversation,
Yes.
right? So very, very powerful. And like I said, this is the first of many. Today was, as you also said it, it's just more than anything, it was an experiment, and of course to put the word out there. This will, of course, go up on YouTube, so people can definitely, find out more. And if they're interested in being part of a community more than anything else, I know we've talked about the practitioner program, but this is one of many things that we do. So the intention, of course, is to let people know that we are here, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because your mentor Veena BK was open to learning in her life. In turn, she has created that ripple in your life,
Yes.
and by extension in Pratik's life. And it's literally that, there's that very powerful concept of pay it forward, that you literally you create these random acts of kindness without even realizing or mentally figuring out what will be the impact of it. You just feel it and you do it, right?
Yes.
And you let it go. And the way it just ripples is, I mean, you can feel it right now. And like I told you, when you were talking, I was listening. I was like, this is real. This is not just another course or just another program or just another community. It's like, this is literally like life in life.
Absolutely true.
So, thank you for trusting your gut. And also, I'll say this, I also say this from personal experience, that when we're willing to think crazy, when we're willing to think beyond whatever believe we see around us, to be like beyond that, we believe in the impossibility of, or the possibility of the impossible, shall we say, right? That's when these kind of things happen. I mean, it's no, and I'll just say it anyway, it's no surprise that today of all days, you're here like this with your background, your backdrop, right? Your
Yes.
literally like your background. And this is just the beginning, right?
Yes.
So I truly wish that people, like-minded people, find you to be the partner, the the coach, the co-traveler on their journey. Because it's true, it's like, there's that old familiar song of all we need is love. It's true, right?
Yes.
So when we're able to, and we're able to, really connect with help from people around us, then it makes the journey so much more meaningful. Because then we realize that it's not, oh, I made it happen, but it was a collective, right? I mean, I get to sit here like this with you, not because I made it happen, it's because it's a collective, right? Yes, of
Yes.
course, I came up with the idea when it was my idea, but it when it was no longer my idea, when it was a collective instead, that's when these kind of random acts of amazingness happen.
Magic
And
happens.
yeah, magic, exactly. So I'm definitely looking forward to more of these conversations, and hearing about your journey. And then, of course, in the coming days, especially this month, and I'm sure going forward, we may even make this like a regular feature, where people get to express, people get to share, people get to learn. And especially today, we know this: the more we share, the more, let me say it like this, the more we share, the more amazing happens, and the less we have to figure out how is it going to happen, right?
Yes.
I mean, literally, like, it's 7:09 right now, so it's been just about 24 hours since that idea just kind of popped into my head. And just giving you like uh, an inside track here. This was around the time when you guys were getting ready to meet as as fellow students without the teacher, right?
Yes.
I think this was literally officially, this yesterday was your first meetup as students, where you would like practice. Of course, this is an ongoing practice, and all of you are now, as students of the level 2 program, which is continuing on now for the month of July. um, it's really beautiful, that these things just happen.
Yes.
And I'm really wishing that, for those who watch this, that if there's something that resonates, especially they connect to your journey, and they see in you that mentor or that fellow traveler. And I truly wish that they reach out to you. Of course, right now it's alive, but we will upload it on YouTube as a post recorded show, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
So I'll share your details of how people can reach you. We are, of course, doing a lot of things in the behind the scenes, which is like putting things like the links in place where people can reach you. Like Linktree comes to mind. So these are some of the things that we will be doing in the coming days, so people can definitely connect with you. And before we go, of course, like I said, we are here through the year.
I want to add
So
two things, small things.
please, please.
So I picked up two words from you while
Mm-hmm,
you're saying things. So one
mm-hmm,
is allow, the other one is how to do
mm,
it, how it will happen. So this mantra is something which we all knew, but maybe didn't practiced it or so.
mm,
But ask, allow, and receive is something
mm,
we learned during our program, and it really, really makes a difference.
mm.
Because just listening to these words, maybe you would not understand the real meaning of it.
Wow,
But when you actually believe in it and you see the effect or the magic of it,
wow.
you know the importance of it. That what
Mm,
is your ask, and especially to whom you're asking,
mm,
how you're allowing it. Because just asking is not your job done. You have to allow it, you have to believe
mm,
in it, and
mm.
then you see the magic of receiving.
Wow.
The other thing which I picked up is how it would happen. So I have my own example here.
Mm,
I joined the level 2.5 with a thought that, okay, I don't have enough money to pay right now,
mm,
but let me begin. I didn't knew how it would happen,
wow.
that how would I be able to pay the full amount, but
Mm.
universe played the game and
True.
I paid the full money. So if you allow and if you
Mm,
leave and believe on the supreme authority, things
mm.
work out.
So true.
Yes.
That's a beautiful place to to pause for a moment, that the universe will work out. It will work out, right? God will help you to work it out. Whatever is your frame of reference, it's literally, as you said, it will work out. That it can be uppercase, lowercase, sentence case, whatever. But literally, that is, I think, the something that I've also come to recognize, that it's like the secret to happiness is this belief that it will work out. Right? That surety ki मैं नहीं तो वो. The wo, you can fill in the blank, whoever that wo is, right? It's
because
almost
that
like, interestingly, as I'm hearing it, the wo is like the who.
because that woe is, from my perspective, because I
Correct.
believe in the god, so
Mm,
that woe is has bigger plans for us
yeah,
than what we think we have for our
exactly.
own self.
Exactly.
So if we believe that
Yeah.
whatever is happening to us has some meaning,
Mm,
if you are not able to understand it right now, we will one day.
exactly.
So just trust the
Amazing.
process.
Amazing. Yeah. So I'm going to pause here. As I said, we will share more details, how you can, get in touch with us, join the community, or just, show up. We have many different programs and processes. So looking forward to seeing all of you. And of course, Meenu, wishing you all the very best on your journey.
Thank you.
Continue to be more of who you are. And it's like this, I don't even need to tell you that, but wish you all the best. And as always, remember to live with purpose. So look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much for those of you who listened, especially who've listened all the way to this point. God bless, and we will be back soon. Till then, take care and see you soon.